Right, Shalom.
Shalom.
When it starts always by giving all praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, double honors to Apostle GMS, and honors to you brothers doing the work in truth, while sincerity.
Shalom.
Shalom. Yeah, I was with the brother was reasoning and that. It was basically on the topic of how in this day you got this concept of white supremacy, or rather white privilege. That's what I really mean to say. About how, you know, you have some Edomites that go over into foreign countries, and whenever they're there, they get treated like gods and kings, right? You know, whatever it is that they do, they get preferential treatment. You know, when they go around town, no one's looking at them as murderers. No one's looking at them as thieves. Yet they're the biggest murderers and thieves on the planet, right? But also how all of that's going to get flipped on its head, and how in the kingdom, right, when Israel has been beautified, right, we're going to be the ones that people look, oh man, the Israelites, you know, we're going to be the ones. For instance, I don't know about in the States, but over here in the UK around, you know, you get a lot of what you call it, Chinese, Japanese people. As a Jake, man, you go chat to them, they're doing all of that, trying to run away from you and shit. But when it comes to Mr. White Man, you know, they love Mr. White Man, right? But in the kingdom, once again, right, when we're in our power and when we've been beautified, those same women, or they, you know, their fathers are gonna be saying, yo, hey, you want to take my daughter? Hey, have her. Hey, you want to pay? No, hey, have her for free. You know, they're gonna want to be have their daughters given to the Israelites. They would want to come to the Israelites and say, oh man, it's such a wonderful and glorious people that you are, right? You got something?
You said you was gonna.
Okay, let me get this right. So Psalm 73. I'm gonna start from verse 3, right? It says, for I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked, right? Because in this kingdom, the wicked are prospering, man. And this came out in the Oxford study that to basically get well in this kingdom, you've got to lie. You know, the best liars get furthest in this kingdom, right? Says, when I saw the prosperity of the wicked, for there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Right, so right now these Edoms, they're not in trouble as other men, man. Like I said, they don't. Here it is. They've dropped atomic bombs. They've killed the oceans. They've you know, murdered countless amounts of people. Yet they're not seen as violent. Yet they're not seen as wicked. Right, but even the average everyday Edomites, right? You know, if they want to do something, they just do. When Jake want to do something, the first thing we're thinking of is how much does it cost? You know, we want to you know, Jake want to go somewhere. Yeah, it's nice, but you know what, it's a bit expensive. Go somewhere else. The average Edomites, man, will casually just spend like $3,000 on a holiday. You know, just on it's just a holiday. Fuck it. You know, if Jake's spending $3,000, that means it's $3,000 on a credit card, which means it ends up being like $5,000-6,000. Inevitably, they'll miss payments, end up with the county court judgment. Now they can't get any credit. Yeah. Right. But if I can get 2 Ezra 6 and 9 real quick, right?
Can I just add a quick piece?
Yeah.
I just add actually no, I'll segue after that.
Cool. It says 2 Ezra 6 and 9 says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Right? Because right now, man, Esau is the one in power. Right now, Esau is getting all the luxuries of this world, but Jacob is the one, i.e. Israel. Right, you know, the Native Americans, the, you know, so-called Hispanics, so-called Negro, you know, and all of us scattered throughout the earth. Right, we're gonna have the next kingdom, the next world, where we're gonna, you know, where people are gonna be looking at us like the kings and rulers that we truly are. Right.
This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Now, if you look into Isaiah the 14th chapter, it's basically a future prophecy talking about how Edom is going to be under us as slaves in the kingdom, and how all these nations are going to be under us, man.
In fact, you might as well read verse 1. Now he said that. Huh?
Okay, this is Isaiah 14 and 1. For Yahweh Shai will have mercy on Jacob, and yet will choose Israel, and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Yeah, Israelite foreigners.
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them, them talking about the other nations, in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. So we're going to be ruling over the people that are oppressing us right now. So who's the major oppressor? Who's the biggest oppressor on the earth right now? Who put the so-called Negroes, Hispanics and Native Americans into hardcore bondage? Who took away their lands? Who put them to the sword? That was the so-called white man. And the
once you made your point.
Yeah, and the so-called white man still in power today. As brother read in, you read it in 2nd Esdras. He says Esau is the end of the world. So at this end of this age, or end of this empire that he's in right now, right, he is the end of it. And the beginning of it is going to be Jacob. We're going to be in rulership, pursuant to this future prophecy, which I'll read in a bit in Isaiah 14.
Yeah. So because you was talking about how Esau put the which southern kingdom in hardcore bondage by way of the slave ship, right? But he, conquered and just killed Gad and Reuben, right? When he came over there to the Americas, man. Right, and also the which called the Latin tribes they didn't get off scot-free either, man. They got fucked up as well. Right, yet all those things in memory, all those things in remembrance, no one looks at the white man as if he's evil. No one clutches their handbag when they walk past the so-called white man. Yet with Jake now, you walk past, you be just, hey man, I might be a Jake in a business suit, man. I don't trust this guy. Each time you see Jake driving a nice car, you're like, nah, he's probably a drug dealer. Or whatever, what have you.
It's a perception that people have of Israel.
Yeah.
Where they're looking at them like, well, you can't be on our level.
Yeah.
If you see see a so-called white person walk into the shop, the security guard ain't following them around. But the scripture says that they're the thieves.
Yeah, that's right. And also I've personally seen a security, basically had a white couple walk out the door. The alarm went off. They stop and look back at the security guard, and the security guard just lets them go.
Yeah, but if this was a so-called black man now, if this was a Judite, for example, they'd want to see his bag, man. They want to check it out, man.
Yeah, but and I was saying that's that so-called white privilege that they have in this. They obviously in the kingdom, where we'll have Israelite privilege, right? Then we won't be doing it in wickedness or anything. We'll just have Israelite privilege, because that's where we're supposed to be anyway.
Yeah. You want to keep reading those,
Yeah.
Right, this is I'm gonna drop down to verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Now, the elites of this so-called white man, right? So, let me name a couple families: Rothschilds, Rockefellers, to name a few, the DuPonts. Right now, they're the light bearers, which is what Lucifer goes to. That's what that word means. They're the light bearers right now on this earth, on the left-hand side, man, in wickedness.
Yeah, and we're the light bearers on the right-hand side. That's
right, we're the light bearers on the right-hand side, because we've got Yahushua, man.
You Illuminati arc?
Which is the light. That's right. Which Yahushua is the light of men, and when Yahushua is in us and we in him, so. Then that means that we're the real illuminated ones. We're the Illuminati, like the brother just said. We're the Luciferians, man. Okay? It says, but then it says, how art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Okay, so the Lucifer is talking about here, is talking about the so-called white man, because he weakened the nations, man. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down.
And who's that talking about? Who has redefined man and woman? Who's redefined how a child is made? Who basically just turned everything on its head and basically said, no, all of the rules that the Most High has set, that was an accident. He didn't know what he was doing. A man and a man can have a child, right? A man can give birth. That's what Esau has done. That is to say that he is God.
Can this thing formed say to the thing that formed?
Yeah.
Why is that? Why? Yeah. Let's get that quickly. Is that Romans 9? I'm not getting it.
It's Romans 9 as well, But I'm gonna say this because it's more or less says the same thing. It says, Isaiah 29:16 says, surely a turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding?
That's right, man. So really what the so-called white man is trying to say by changing all these laws and trying to change people to be transgenders and questioning things, trying to change the natural order of things that the Most High has created, he's trying to basically go against the Most High and he's trying to say he's the Most High. That's what he's really saying. But then all the technology and everything that this so-called white man's been given has been given to him by the Most High, man. Okay, and though a lot of those technologies, almost all those technologies, are just ancient technologies coming back. Even like this Urim, man. Lights and perfection, Urim and Thurim.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what the Levite priests used to use to look into certain matters, man. Okay.
Get that for you real quick. It is Ecclesiastes 1:9. It says, the thing that hath been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun.
And just as back in the Greek and Roman Empire, these Edomites were in rule. Okay, they were the Lord set up the basis of men over the earth at that point, man. Okay, he raised up Alexander the Greek to of Macedonia under Philip, his father, to basically just start taking over the nations, putting down the Medo-Persians. And the Lord raised them up, man. Okay, these base men, okay, over the earth, man. And just as it was in that day, the same things happen again in this day, man. Lord's raised up these base men, these Edomites, the Idumeans. He's raised them up to be over the whole earth, man, over all the nations, man. Okay, and to put Jake into subjection. Because the elites know who we are, man. Okay, they know who we are, and that, that's why they're trying to destroy Jake and keep Jake down, man. Because they know that the promises are for us, man.
That's right.
You got any more, man?
Yeah, no, that was it.
Alright, this is back in Isaiah chapter 14. So, verse 14. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet, that's what this is the Lord saying. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. And what does that mean? They're going to go into subjection and slavery under us, man. And then eventually going to be burnt up, man. Okay, they're going to be the ones that are going to be destroyed. Okay, they're going to be the ones that are going to be put to death. Okay, not that state of hell that our people are in, that we're all catching hell, we're all in the lowest state, man. Okay, our people are the walking dead, man. Okay, the ones that ain't got Yahushai. He's gonna be in that state, man. Okay, it says, now this is the point. They that see thee, now this is future prophecy. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? Because that's what they're looking at him right now. They're looking at the white man like, oh,
Mr. White Man.
Mr. White Man comes with, well, that's what the Japanese are looking at, right? Yeah. That's what they're saying. Because he shook their kingdom.
Yeah.
Two of their major cities, man, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, man. Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? And how did he do that? With the nuclear technology, the hydrogen bomb, man, the atomic bomb. Okay? When he dropped Big Boy, and was it Little Boy or whatever?
Yeah.
When he dropped Little Boy onto I think Hiroshima and Nagasaki, one of the two. Hey, he shook the kingdom, man. Okay,
yeah, he set a precedent to all nations.
All nations saw that. What happened to that?
Yeah.
But you still got Ammonites today that are looking at the so-called white man. Oh, the Moabites. Oh, the so-called Chinese. Oh, all these nations are looking at them like that, man. But then they don't really know that. Hold on a second. It's actually Jake that are the kings and priests of the Most High, man.
Exactly. Okay,
they don't know that. That's why for now they can get in their kingdom. They can get away with it. Get away with it, what they're doing, man. They can get away with that, that white privilege, man. Okay. Yeah. That's it on that. I was gonna get.
Okay. Yeah.
1 sec.
So as the brother saying, man. So, hey, the thing is, Gooks haven't forgotten, man. I haven't forgotten when they dropped Little Boy and was a Fat Man and Little Boy. They're gonna want revenge as well. When you read the scriptures, it says that when Israel and rule, man, all these nations are gonna be like, yo, shit, these are a great people, man. These are people that what do you call that are worthy, right? So let me get this in Proverbs 29:2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, right? And that's what it's going to be like when we're in power, man. Obviously, these guys are going to have to serve hardcore bondage to pay for all the wickedness that they've done. Because pursuant to Psalms 83, all nations have had a hand in spoiling Israel, man. They all came together and said, yo, let's put these guys down, right? But such is the spirit that the Lord has put on the Israelites, right? That even in our captivities, we've excelled. Even in our captivities, we've made those nations wherein we were captives what they are.
Yeah. And so if I can just say quickly, the Martyrzium, the so-called original Egyptians, okay, the Mizraimites, they were saying, oh, we need to basically do something about these Israelites, otherwise they're going to become mightier than we. You know, and that's why, to back up your point, that's why that's how Edom are looking at it, man. You know, they want to keep Jake down with these devices.
Yes, in hope that they can get their blessing back. But look, man, you sold it, man. It was meant to be. You know, it was fate. You know, the stars are aligned, as you know, they like talking all of that. What do you call it? All of that stuff, right? I'm gonna get what you quoted. It says Exodus 1:7 says, and the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly and multiplied and waxed exceeding mighty, and the land was filled with them. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them. Basically, hey, we need to find a way of getting these guys to, you know. So come, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. And it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies, and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land.
And one of the things they did, other than the hardcore slavery and bondage they put us into, one of the things that they did, they tried to get the midwives to try and basically kill all the man-childs that were coming out of the mothers, man. Basically, that was basically abortion back then. And that's the same thing they put on our people now, man. They're basically making our women, Jake women are the highest abortion rates, man.
But come on, ask you something, man. Right? Why wasn't the woman child that we were told to be killed?
That's right, because the seed goes through the father.
The man.
That's right, man. Numbers 1:18.
Yeah. See, that's a straight cut, you know, because these so-called Jews like to say it goes through the mother. Then they would have killed the woman.
But they knew that the women will grow up and they could pop them and keep their line going.
Yeah.
You know, because this scriptures, man, these scriptures deal with lineages and nations, man. Okay. We ain't playing games out here.
Yep. So let me just finish off. It says, therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, as they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. But here's the thing. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. Right? And that's basically what we're saying about no matter what these people put on us, man, we just find a way to excel. And that's just the spirit that the Lord has given us, because He has surnamed us. You know, the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahshua himself has surnamed us, man. He has chosen us to be the special people. Right? And in that kingdom, we're gonna be in our full beauty. So let me finish off in Proverbs 29:2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear fall, the people mourn. And you see that today, man. All the people are mourning. Right? But with their white privilege, so quote unquote, because you so-called white people, really and truly, because we know it ain't about skin color, but the Edomites are predominantly white people, right? The people are mourning with them, and
What precept?
Yeah.
Can you hold the Revelation 5, verse 9 to 10? This is Exodus chapter 19, verse 4. Since we were just talking about the Egyptians. Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. And you shall be unto me a kingdom of priests, and a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. Now, the Lord said that we were going to be a kingdom of priests, and also a holy nation, so we were going to be separate. And we were going to be priests of the Lord, man. Okay? So we were going to administer the law. That's what the priests did. They administered the law. So we were going to be the lawgivers. We're going to be set up to be lawgivers in the kingdom, man. Okay? The law is going to come out. the sweet honey and the wine is going to drop from the mountain of Israel, pursuant to Isaiah, okay? And that's what's going to be happening in the kingdom, man, okay? All men are going to be following the laws, and if they ain't going to be following the laws, then we're going to lay the smackdown and lay the judgments on them, okay? You get that in Revelation now?
9 and 5?
Current.
Oh, so
No,
9,
5 and
5 and 9.
5 and 9.
It says, Revelation 5 and 9, it says, and they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof, for thou wast slain and hast redeemed us to the Most High by thy blood.
And who's that talking about? That's talking about Yahushua. He, the King of Kings, through his blood, redeemed us back onto the Most High, man. Keep going up.
Yeah. It says, out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation, and has made us unto our God kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth.
That's right, man. So we're going to be, like the brother read in 2 Ezra 6 and 9, we're going to be reigning on the earth as what? Kings and priests, man.
Yeah.
So we're all going to have our own dominions, man. And that means that even our children that we're going to be bearing, which are going to be the 2/3 coming back, okay? Even our children that we're going to be raising, we're going to be raising them up as future rulers and future kings, man.
That's right.
And that's how we're being raised up by Yahweh Shai right now, man. As the hopeful elect, the elect are all going to be, we're future rulers and future kings. So when we go out there, you know, in our day-to-day, that's how we carry ourselves. We're a royal people, man. Okay, so we carry ourselves in a royal manner. We're not like these Christians. We're not like these Muslims. We're not like these Jews, and we're not like these other heathens and these other different philosophies, man. Okay, we're following the truth of this Bible, man. That's okay, right. And it teaches you Israelites how to be a king and a priest, not no Jamaican, okay, not no African, okay, not no Egyptian. We don't teach you how to be that. They don't teach you how to be anything other than a Hebrew Israelite in his right mind, which is a future ruler on this earth, man. Okay, so when we raise up our young, we're gonna raise them up in the ways, in the ancient ways, how it was meant to be according to the scriptures, through wisdom. It says Judah taught them what? The use of the bow. So we're gonna be doing all kinds of things, man. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna be teaching our children all types of things, and you know, we're gonna be learning with them. Yeah. We're gonna have so many children, and we're gonna get to experience things, and we're gonna get to experience things on our own, man. We're gonna get to travel to far countries and different planets and different galaxies.
A world-traveled man, the scriptures speak of, right? Because I mean, once again, in this kingdom, man, you speak about your arking. You know what I really like to go horse riding, man. Yeah, how much it costs? Well, and right now, man, that's, you know, but like I said, in the kingdom, we're just gonna have, you know, time and nothing will stop us. Right, and really and truly, there's nothing in this kingdom that a Jake can't do. If a Jake wants to, what do you call it? For instance, I mean, I can't even say that because you know, that's a bit too personal. You know, then you know, you have Avengers looking it up, putting 2 and 2 together. But you know, there's this thing about if you basically, a lot of people aren't good at stuff because they've never been given the opportunity to do those things, right? And even if Jake was to, I don't know, take on golf, for instance, guess what you end up with? Tiger Woods, best golfer in history. If Jake was to take on Formula 1 driving, because all of that is expensive sports where you can't just go and become a Formula 1 driver. You parents need to have sacrificed thousands and thousands of pounds when growing up, and then bam, you're good at it, man. You know, and then would you end up with Lewis Hamilton?
I've got a preset.
Yeah. So
this is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 13. Okay, and this is the blessings that the Lord promised us, man.
Yeah.
And the Lord,
and then we can go into the topic afterwards.
And the Lord shall make thee the head and not the tail, and thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath.
Yeah, so right now we're at the bottom of everything, man.
All nations.
All nations. You know, literally, you know, I was reading the parable of Lazarus earlier on. Right, all the nations have basically come and gotten goods out of Esau's. I mean, look at them fucking Ishmaelites, man. Building, you know, artificial islands and shit. You know, they're doing good right now. Right, all of the heathen nations have basically been enjoying life with Israel at the bottom. You know, you have some of the most frowned upon people on earth, but they're still better than a nigger. Right, and even though a lot of the nations that get frowned upon, they're niggers. Well, I mean, not nations, but people from countries. For instance, you get like here, namely got a lot of Eastern Europeans. The ones people hate the most are the Romanians and the Albanians. But then you spend time with Romanian and Albanians, you're just like, fuck, these are just niggas. These are niggas themselves. So so that's talking about how it's also about how the curses don't escape you, man. Because they've been cursed with leprosy and that. But they're, people like, if it's a woman and she's Romanian, so what, you're a prostitute, yeah? If it's a guy and it's Romanian, thinking about how he's going to steal or do this, that, and the other. So then you get some, some dumb idiots of like, oh, but you was never on this slave shit. Right, yeah, that is true. But they still follow the curse. They still get the curses one way or another, man. That's why you got to be spiritual about this thing. It ain't just a black and white thing. It ain't just, you got to understand the mystery that is the Israelite foreigners, man. Because the curses in Deuteronomy 28 say they shall pursue thee. You might get Jake that is rich, but then what happens? Then this woman will cheat on him and then get half of his shit.
Right.
So we can go into the main topic. It was not even actually touched what I wanted to touch. Unless you had a quick preset.
No, sorry.
Could you get me Isaiah, the 2nd chapter?
Okay. Alright, Yep. Let me get that now. This is Isaiah chapter 2 from the top, yeah?
Yeah.
This is Isaiah chapter 2, verse 1. The word that Isaiah, the son of Amos, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house...
Right, so that mountain of the Lord's house representative of the government of Israel, because mountains represent governments in the scriptures, right?
Of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of... You know what, just to say as well, and these elites, they know that as well, man. Okay, when they have their G8 meetings, right? And they get all those strong nations together and they have their meetings, the different governments, the different mountains of these nations. What do they call it? They call it the G8 summit. Okay, and what's at the top of a mountain? You got a summit, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Just back at the point.
Yeah.
And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it.
Right. So basically, earlier on we read in Deuteronomy 28 about how Israel will be above and never below, and that's it. Israel is going to be above all the other governments of the other nations, right?
Yeah. Right. And many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord.
Right. So yeah, like I was saying, right now, man, you got everyone talking about, let's go to the UN, or let's go to wherever Esau's holding his summits. Right, let's go to the to the Parliament in the UK. Let's go to Washington DC. Well, let's go see what the white man has to say. Even let's go let's go to Moscow, as they like to say in America. Let's go to Moscow. What's Putin been saying? No one's thinking what a Jake has to say. You know why? Because the image that Esau wants to push out is that Jake can't do anything. Even in the so-called African, so-called black countries, man. What has Esau done? He's basically set up cronies over there, and then now I just go, yeah, but even when they are in charge of their own countries, they're corrupt, they're this, they're that, and you have Africans, quote unquote, right, coming up, because obviously, Africa's corrupt, and why? Because they believe Esau's lies, right? But in that day, in the kingdom, when Israel has their supremacy, when Israel has their privilege, right, people are gonna be, yo, man, let's see what the Israelites have to say about this, man. But say, hey, look, man, I want to do X, Y, and Z. Would you got to think about that, man? Right? The thing is, man, right now they've got to have a whole load of summits. Why? Because they're exercising in wickedness, man. They got their wicked plans that they're trying to do. It's talking about in current times, the Edomites and these other nations, right? And what's one that they get every now and then, climate change summits, right? Because Esau's been fucking up the world, man. But in that day, man, hey, it's going to be all good, as we read in Proverbs 29:2. Right? Got a preset?
I just wanted to quickly just get this. This is Numbers 24:1. And when Balaam saw that it pleased the Lord to bless Israel, he went not as at other times to seek for enchantments, but he set his face toward the wilderness. Now Balaam was a heathen. Okay? And it says, and Balaam lifted up his eyes, and he saw Israel abiding in these tents according to their tribes, and the Spirit of God came upon him. Okay? And I'm going to keep reading it. And he took up his parable and said, Balaam the son of Beor hath said, and the man whose eyes are open hath said, the Lord opened up this heathen's eyes to see what was going to happen to Israel, man. You saw them in the wilderness. He said, he hath said, which heard the words of God, which saw the vision of the Almighty, falling into a trance, but having his eyes open. How goodly are thy tents, O Jacob, and thy tabernacles, O Israel. As the valleys are they spread forth, as gardens by the riverside, as the trees of aloes, which the Lord hath planted, and as cedar trees beside the waters. Right? He shall pour the water out of his buckets, and his seed shall be in many waters, and his king shall be higher than Agag, and his kingdom shall be exalted. Okay? So what did the Lord do? The Lord opened up this heathen's eyes to be able to see what Israel was going to be, man. How beautiful the tents of Israel were going to be, man. And the Lord is going to beautify the meek with salvation. Okay, He's going to beautify our tents. With the tribes that right now being brought together with the word, and then in the kingdom, all the heathen are going to look at us like Balaam looked at us, man. They're going to look at us with adorning eyes, like, wow, this is Israel.
Yeah.
You know?
They're going to look at us better than how they look at Esau, man. Running, oh, I missed the wine, man. But then that day, man, they go like, yo, this is how you do it. And then they're going to look at Esau and be like, yo, man, look, you fucked it up for all of us, man.
Yeah.
They're going to
be glad when Obadiah 1:18 comes to pass. Yeah. They're going to be glad, man.
Yeah, because then they're going to be like, yo, man, yo, that 1,000 years, obviously, because they went off as well. But even in this canon, they got to pay for the alliances that they made with Esau in this kingdom as well, man. But they're going to be like, shit, nigga, what? Why did you have to do that for, man? In the pursuant to Isaiah 14 or 13, where it says, shall narrowly look upon thee.
14,
man.
14. We read that earlier, yeah.
So narrowly, look, man, is this the man? It's like, yo, so like how we look at them Ethiopians, man. They had us in slavery, but now they're you know, or even the flower just land on their eyelid and then they don't even swat it away or anything. That's how these heathens going to be looking at Esau, and that they when the Edomites are destroyed, as the brother said, the world is going to rejoice, man.
Okay. Back in Isaiah?
Yeah.
This is Isaiah 2, verse 3. And many people shall go and say, come ye and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. That's
right. So in that day, they're going to be, like I said, they're going to be coming up to Israel, say, yo, you know, they tell us, how should we do? Or my crop is failing. I don't know, maybe I've not, you know, observed the land several provinces. You've not kept the law.
and when it says, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem,
exactly.
Like when nowadays, it's like if the so-called white man will say anything, you know, if you get like a cracker on TV and he's a so-called scientist. He'll just say one thing and everyone will be like, whoa, that's what it is.
Yeah.
When a so-called white man says something.
Yeah, when a rich man speaketh.
That's it. When a rich man speaketh, man. Every man holdeth his tongue and exalteth and what he says to the clouds, man. Yeah. And that's what these guys are doing. These guys are... Sorry, go on.
Oh, when you're done.
That's what these guys are doing, man. They're basically exalting what the so-called white man's saying. But that's what they're going to be doing in the kingdom. They're going to be exalting what we're saying, because what we're going to be saying is, or from Yahweh Shemel Shai, man.
Yeah. And what I was going to say is, proof of what the brother's saying is this. Adults watched a controlled demolition, yet they were told 2 planes hit this building and this building fell. And they believed it, despite the fact they have watched other controlled demolitions, despite the fact that jet fuel doesn't burn still. It does not burn, despite all logic and reason, right? They saw something and their mind just cannot compute what's going on, because for one, they think the white man wouldn't do that. Because really, that's what, when it comes to so-called 9/11 believers, right? I think it was, you know, Saudis that were able to, hijack planes and shit, and then ram them into buildings.
Afghans.
Bro, they sued Saudi Arabia for it. They said Afghans, then they invaded Iraq.
I'm being facetious because they're CIA operatives.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing. they do say they sued Saudi Arabia for it, right?
All right.
But then they what do you call it? They bombed Afghanistan and Iraq. You see what I'm saying? Right.
Yeah, that's right, man. And they did that why? Because oil and heroin, man.
Yeah.
The poppy, man. The poppy fields. Verse 4. And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks.
Basically, they all of their it all goes on to explain what it means.
Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore.
Right, and that's a beautiful time, man. You know, right now there's wars popping up all over the place. No matter where Esau is, he is as death, as the scriptures say. Revelation 6:4 says, I'm in that direction. Let me just read it real quick. It says, and there went out another horse that was red, representing Esau, and power was given to him that sat up thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. And that's what Esau has done, man. Right? But yeah, let me carry on. It says Revelation 2:25 says, but that which ye have hold ready fast till I come, and he that overcometh keep my works unto the end, and to him will I give power over the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken, right? Into shivers, even as I received of my Father, right? So we, in that day, in the kingdom, we're gonna rule over these other nations, man. We're gonna have them in subjection, but we're gonna have them in righteous subjection. After that 1,000 years of slavery that they're gonna have to pay for all of the wickedness that they done to us, right? Well, they're gonna enjoy being underneath the Israelites, man. Then they're gonna be worshiping us. They're gonna be licking the dust of our feet. Can you get that for me as well, Baba Kasha? Yeah. And shall lick the dust of their feet. Because you had this guy, what was it, Vocab, No Class Malone, talking about, that's not very Christian to have your boot, making people lick the boots of dust off your feet. And but that's just showing pure subjection, man. Pure subjection.
Okay.
All right, you got it.
Almost got it. Yep. This is Isaiah 49:23. And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers.
Yeah, you're going.
They shall bow down to thee with their face toward the earth, and lick up the dust of thy feet.
Right. So these are kings, man. These are people in high place. They're gonna be coming up to us, right, and then worshiping us, man, licking the dust up of our feet. Why? Because we're gonna be worthy in those days. Right now we ain't worthy, man. But in that day, when we have our privilege, right, when our righteous privilege, our God-given privilege, while being rulers over you people, right, all you heathen nations and that, you're gonna worship us, man.
Every Israelite man, woman, and child is gonna be over these heathen nations, man. Okay,
even Judas.
And that, the Lord made us. We were made to rule, man. We were born to rule. Okay, and that is how we were created in the spirit. Okay.
Which is what it says in Ecclesiastes. I've seen servants upon the horses, and
princes walking as servants upon the earth. That's right, and that's why Israel means Prince of Power, man. Yeah. Okay. Now, when a king is in rule, the Most High is the king, man. Right, and Yahweh Shai is called the King of Kings. Okay, that the Lord set up, man. So, when a king's in rulership and he has his dominion, then doesn't he give it to his princes? Don't they in their right become kings? Do you have something?
Yeah, get what you get.
Right. This is the blessing, man, that Jacob's been given, man. Okay. This is Genesis 27, verse 28. Therefore, God give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's son bow down to thee. Right?
Mother's son, who's that? It's Esau.
That's right.
Because we have the same mother.
It says, cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. Now, when anytime Jake tries to do something, man, what happens, man? They just end up getting outed, man, and cursed out for what they did, man. Okay? They don't prosper in what they're doing. They don't get no shine, man. And anytime any Jake does get some shine, that's because the elites, the Edomites, they'll put them onto that thing, man. Okay, like you got that guy, Shax or whatever his name, Big Shax or whatever his name is. Now he's basically a muppet. He's been set up here by the elites and put up there to basically clown Jake, man, to make Jake look bad.
Because what you gotta understand is there, you know, as Jake, you don't, you know, you'll be around other Jakes, so you think that the world is just full of Jakes. What you gotta understand is these are people who probably never ever seen a so-called black man in their life, and this is what they get. They think, oh, so that's how black people behave, quote unquote, you know, so-called black people, right? So that's how they behave. No, so they are niggas. They are illiterate. They are dumb. Hey, the white man was right for putting them in slavery.
And you know what? I ain't gonna say who, but I had an experience with one guy in the world where basically I was telling them, look, man, you know, I pointed out one. I basically was telling them, look, you know, the Jews, the real Jews, are the so-called black people, okay? And he was just like, well, he's a Jake I'm talking to, but he's like a foreigner, right? And and then just as I said that, one Jake walked past and he had his pants sagging down, okay, walking with that zombified dead look, you know, with his pants sagging down, because our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. He just thinks he's black. You don't think he's an Israelite, a royal person. And he looked at him and he commented and he said, him? Really? Like,
but that's wisdom 5. That's wisdom 5.
And that's what it is in Wisdom 5, man. You know, we can get that. You can get that.
Wisdom 5 says, is this what?
That's right, man. And that's how the whole world is looking at us, man. Okay? But hey, we've got the last laugh, man, because we're the real rulers of this earth, man. We're the righteous rulers, man, that are going to be set up by Yahweh Shemiah Shai, man. Okay?
No, this is Wisdom 5. I'm going to start from the top. It says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness, for the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labours. Well, you know, so, and when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear.
Oh, you know, it says no account of his labours. Yeah. All these kingdoms have been built up on the back of slavery, man. Yeah. Where's the account for that? Yeah. When's the last? What did the British that say? The Great Britain that we built, that our fought. Look, man, hey, Britain was the Britain's economy and all that was built upon what? Sugar and cotton and slavery, man. Basically, okay, free slave, man, free labor, man. Okay, so you were basically built upon the backs and of the Israelites, but then you didn't give no account for his labors, man. Okay, he's not getting to enjoy and partake of this kingdom because it's not his rest. It's on our kingdom, man. Okay, that's why we're gonna put you into slavery, man, in our kingdom, man. Okay, and we're gonna put you to work and we're gonna reap the benefits.
Yeah. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strange for the salvation so far beyond all that they look for, right? Because it's them chariots are going to be the, you know, what the so-called white man calls UFOs. You're going to have so-called black men being beamed up into chariots and that. So then they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom he had sometimes in derision and the proverb of reproach. Making his pants hanging down like. Look at that.
How is he? Well, you're telling me he's a future ruler? You're telling me he's a holy people?
That's why he's even like scoff when this thing was. We're gonna have you enslaved. You, because they do the processing on the spot. They say, look, we've got the U.S. military, the greatest military in the history of the earth. Right? There's even the Russian military, the great, you know. The second best. Then you got the Chinese military, right? And let's say they all failed. You still have India and Pakistan with nuclear weapons. What can you do? How are you with nothing gonna come and take us over? That's what they're doing, which is why we need the higher power. That's why Zephaniah 3:8 says, wait ye upon the Lord, because we can't take down these other nations.
We've got the chariots of Israel.
Yeah. They'll do the dirty.
That's how we went in wars back in the ancient days. Yeah. Sometimes the Lord would just send an army of chariots, man.
Yeah. And then the spirit of the Lord is going to jump upon the what do you call it, on these heathens to basically make war with each other, man, and utterly waste each other. But it goes on to say, we fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor.
That's it. They counted our life madness, man. They see the broken of our people. They see the ones that have not gained this knowledge and not come back to the Lord and realize that they're the holy people, and they're looking at them thinking, well, you know, that's nothing. But at the end of the day, at the same time, you're not accounting for the fact that we've been destroyed. First of all, for going against the Lord's statutes and commandments, but we've also been destroyed by Edom, man. Yeah. We've been destroyed by the so-called white man. Okay, our people have been brought down to a lower state, man. Okay, we've been brought down to a dumbed down estate. Okay, so all that urbanism and all that things that Jacob doing, and they think that it's all good and cool, and guys like Big Shaq and following him and idolizing him. That's not who we are. We're a serious people. We're a holy people, and a rule. We have a ruling class mentality.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how every Jake should be, man. And they will be in the kingdom, man.
Yeah,
but right now, the guys that ain't gonna get it, you're gonna be destroyed, man.
Just gonna have to take a missile.
That's right.
Right. It says, "How is he numbered among the children of the Most High, and his lot amongst the saints?" So, like you were saying, I was like, "God, who is, you know, pants sagging, numbered among the Israelites?"
But when they see us getting beaten up in them chariots, man, and we're getting changed, without, you know, boy, I ain't ready for that, man.
You can't. Yeah, I just want to finish with Isaiah 60. In the interest of time, I'll just look. What do you call it? I'll just get a few points, right? It says Isaiah 60. I'm gonna start from. Let me get verse 5. It says, Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged, because of the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. The force of the Gentiles shall come unto thee. The multitudes of camels shall cover thee, dromedaries of Midian and Ephah. All they from Sheba shall come. They shall bring gold and incense. They shall show forth the praise of the Lord. All the flocks of Kedar shall be gathered together unto thee. The rams of Nebaioth shall minister unto thee. They shall come up with acceptance on mine altar, and I'll glorify the house of my glory. Where else also says that is verse 11. Verse 10 says, And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favour had I had mercy on thee. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually, they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, that their kings may be brought. Right? So basically, because for the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. So basically talking about the, which you call it, gates open continually, that's because these guys are going to be bringing. Right? You know, because good on them. You know, this is the things that were laid out for us, man. The thing is, they'll want to bring. Right? They'll want to bring. They'll be like, hey, man, hey, I got this nice thing here. Hey, man, let me go give it to the Israelites. Maybe he'll take one of my daughters.
They're going to want to give stuff for blessings, man. Plus, obviously, they're going to have to give the 10% as well, man.
Yeah.
You know, and hey, that's because we were born to rule, man. We were set up to be rulers over these heathen, man. You know, and that's the way it is, and that's
just the way it is.
Like the brother was saying at camp. Hey, don't hate us, man. That's the way we were born, man. Yeah. Don't hate on us, man. Okay, take up with the Most High, man.
And that's one thing. You're always gonna be grateful that you're Israelite, man.
That's right.
And more so on this side, be grateful that the Lord has imparted you
with wisdom and giving you the word.
Giving you the word. Had mercy on you enough. Yeah, especially giving you His name, because there's some counts I'll give you everything but the name. You know, or good chance, but the name and other things. So you got to be grateful that, you know, the Spirit led you up onto the apostles of GMS, or giving you nothing but the unadulterated truth, man. You know, so yeah, you got any closing statements?
You know? Hey, man, Yahushua is in us and we in Him, man. Yeah. Yahushua is the King of Kings. And He said, you know, that we were going to be rulers with Him, man.
Joint heirs,
you know?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, kind of.
Right. So yeah, with that, let's say, Shalom.
Shalom.